Hello, African kids. Well, welcome to Black History Month. Whether you're in Canada or whatever part of the world you're in, there's a month dedicated to Black history. And you're going to be taught a whole lot of African and Black heroes. But then we are taking you back to Africa because there is no Black that is not African. And so I'm going to be sharing with you a number of African heroes. And today, I'm starting with Oba Ewuare the Great. Now, you may not have known, but Africa has been the cradle of civilization, and Benin Kingdom has been one of the most sophisticated cities ever made by Africans. Oba Ewuare the Great ruled in the old Benin Kingdom from 1440 to year 1473. Now, Oba Ewuare, also called Ewuare Ogidigan, is widely regarded as the most powerful and transformational ruler in Benin's history. His reign laid the foundation of the Benin Empire, expanding its reach, strengthening its institution, and ushering in a cultural and economic golden age. What it says is one man took control of the Benin Kingdom and made it into an empire. That tells you the power the blacks possess, that when they take over a space, they have the capacity to transform it and make it the best that can ever be. Let's check some of the things they did. Now, when it comes to politics and military expansion, King Ewuare transformed Benin from a city-state into a formidable empire by expanding its territories beyond its original borders. So what you can call the British came to colonize Africa, colonize Nigeria and a number of countries. That was what King Ewuare did. So whenever you hear people saying that, oh, some people took territories, King Ewuare was able to do that successfully. Now, he introduced a centralized administrative system, and he replaced the hereditary chieftaincy with a system where the Oba had supreme authority, reducing the power of rebellious nobles. So in his reign, evil people, thieves, fraudulent people, and corrupt people couldn't hold political offices. You have to be a man of integrity to hold political offices. So when people tell you that Africans corrupt, we are never like that. We've never been like that. This was a king who ensured that you couldn't hold a position except you were upright and forthright. He built an elite military force that helped consolidate power and maintain security across the empire. As a matter of fact, the Benin army was so formidable that when the British tried to invade Benin, the Benin soldiers defeated the British soldiers. That was how formidable they were. Of course, the British went back and they regrouped and came back with more sophisticated weapons, and that was how they were able to take Benin City. But that's to tell you that Africans and blacks, they've got the power to defend themselves, and they've got the intelligence to create sophisticated military. Now, urban and planning and infrastructure. Under his rule, Benin City was redesigned and fortified, laying the foundation of the Great Wall of Benin, one of the most impressive architectural fields in pre-colonial Africa. As a matter of fact, the Benin Wall is regarded as one of the greatest architectural masterpieces ever constructed in the world. It was bigger, better, greater than the Great Wall of China. Now imagine that there was a wall that was greater than the Great Wall of China, built not by Europeans, built not by whites, but built by Africans for Africa. And they built that wall. It became incredible. The city became one of the most advanced of its time with well-planned street, moats, and defensive wall, attracting admiration from European explorers. As a matter of fact, when the Portuguese explorers came to Benin and they saw the masterpiece of that wall, they were wondering if it was a primitive technology they used. Later, they realized it was a technology that the Europeans have not even discovered. Do you know that Benin Kingdom under him had a semblance of street lighting way before New York, way before London, right? That he built a city. So when you see the concept of houses without walls, without fence, that was what Benin was like. And there were no thieves in there. Now, economic and trade growth. This king boosted trade with foreign merchants, particularly the Portuguese who first arrived in the Benin in the late 15th century. The kingdom became a major hub for the trade of arts, ivory, spices, textile, and bronze works, increasing wealth and prosperity. So what that means is that Benin's kingdom had what they could export. So when they say to you that Africans can't produce anything, that's not correct. When they say blacks can produce, no, 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 you have the capacity to produce what other nations can come and buy. In 2007, a bronze head of an Oba sold for $4.7 million at Sotheby's in New York. Imagine something made by blacks from Africa sold for 4.7 million. That tells you the value. And these were moats and sculptures made in the during the reign of King Ewuare. It developed a taxation system that ensured economic stability for the kingdom. Now, there was no white man that taught him all of these things. He knew it. So it means Africans knew how to govern themselves. They knew how to create orderliness in their society. Now, culture and artistic renaissance. Ewuare patronized the arts, leading to the flourishing of Benin's bronze and ivory sculpture. So he knew what they call the competitive advantage. He knew we didn't have oil in Benin, but we had ivory and bronze. So he organized the people to create new products regularly. It remains one of the most exquisite artwork from Africa. As a matter of fact, don't say I told you. When the colonialists came, they stole some of this artwork and they want to put them in British Museum, German Museum. Some of them are being repatriated back to Africa as we speak. An ivory mask was priced and projected to cost 4.7 million US dollars. He established the Egon Eronwo, the Royal Guild of Brass Casters, which produced legendary Benin bronze, now housed in museums worldwide. You can find Benin bronze anywhere you find any bronze work globally. You can bet most likely it was stolen or taken from Benin, like they like to make us believe. Right. Ray also created a spiritual and religious influence. It introduced the Ewuare Festival, which is still celebrated today to mark peace and prosperity. Imagine a festival that marks peace and prosperity. So our people are not fighters, are not people who love to fight, who love to create violence. This is a festival that signifies peace and prosperity. It strengthened traditional spiritual practices, making the Oba of Benin not just a political ruler, but a divine figure. So till tomorrow, if you go to Benin City, and if you want to travel, we can take you there to go and see the ancient city of Benin. Of course, the empire is no longer there, but the ancient city is still there. Oba Iware's reign established Benin as a superpower in pre-colonial West Africa. His reforms in governance, military, art, and diplomacy left an indelible mark, making Benin one of the most admired African civilizations before colonial rule. Today, he is remembered as the king who turned Benin from a small city state into a vast, prosperous empire that influenced African history and global trade. So, a tribute to King Ewuare as we celebrate Black History Month. This is your history. This is a testament to the fact that wherever you are, in any part of the world, you can be a King Ewuare and redefine the story of the Black excellence, that you can make something happen for yourself. You can bring something out of nothing and organize it and make it global. The power is in you. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. As an African, as a Black person, that you are weak, that you are sick, that you are inferior. No way. If they can sell the work from Benin for 4.7 million US dollars, there is something in you that can be sold globally. And so this is our African hero, and this is our Black hero. So you need to know your heroes. So if you're from Benin Kingdom, well, this is one of our heroes that we are so proud of. You need to know your history. So when everybody looks at you and they say, you know what, there is nothing special about you, remind them that we built a wall that was better than the wall of China, that we had sophistication in Africa that maybe Europeans copy, and that there's so much greatness in you. I hope this has been helpful. So you need to know your African heroes. I'll come with more African heroes as we go along this month. But what do you know, and what have you learned today about King Ewuare, and what will you do as an African living in the diaspora? What will you do differently, and how will you rewrite the story of Africans? The power is in you. I celebrate you. Okay? So go ahead and enjoy your life and know that you have a heritage of greatness. You are from a kingdom or you're from a continent of great people. You are not weak. You are not broke. And you're not poor. Your history is so rich. So celebrate King Ewuare as we celebrate Black Month. Okay? Enjoy. Bye bye.